Hi there, welcome back to another Crypto Dave video. Now it's the 1st of April today, and as always I'm doing my monthly roundup video of my investment and mining portfolio profits, or probably we should say losses this month. So I will run over the figures in a minute, but before I do that, let's just jump through quickly and look at the portfolios, and I'll talk you through any changes that I've made this month. So let's start with the investment portfolio here. Now this is probably the simpler one to go over, and as we can see at the bottom here, I actually invested £1,000 worth of Bitbean this month. That's the only change I've made this month, just that £1,000 worth of Bitbean. It's down substantially. I got that on the 8th of March, and as anybody who is following cryptocurrency will know that the market's been down a lot over the last few weeks, so it's currently down just over a third on what I bought for it. But if we have a look at the portfolio as a whole, let's take a quick glance at the kind of graph. So this is a monthly graph. Now it's later in the day on the 1st at the moment, but I actually grabbed the figures. I always take the figures from sort of midnight as we roll over into a new month. So I grabbed all the figures and they'll be below, but I'll run you through those in a second. But as you can see, it's been a really, really poor month for kind of cryptos. Everything's down about 50%. This portfolio is down 45–46% in the last 30 days. Now, if we take a look at the individual kind of purchases, so this started back in May last year, and all those kind of early purchases are still up substantially. The only exception being Dogecoin. It's just £100 worth of Dogecoin, which is down about a third. But everything over those first few months is still up dramatically. And then as we go towards the bottom of the portfolio, what you can see is that most of the stuff that I've bought over the last few months, there's a lot of red in that. So this Bitbean that I bought earlier this month, there was £1,000 of Bitcoin that I bought just before Christmas, the 23rd of December. And then some of the earlier ones, so some of the NavCoin purchases, 3 of the 4 ones there are also in the red now, and even this little bit of Ethereum. Now, if we collapse the individual purchases rather into the kind of coins, you can see that overall it's not too bad. The Bitcoin, Ethereum, which is the kind of earlier kind of stuff, is still up, and then these latest kind of ones, so Bitbean and NavCoin, are down a bit. But anyway, that's the only change I've made this month. So I bought £1,000 worth of Bitbean for staking. I'll run you through the figures in a sec, but let's just jump over and have a look at the mining portfolio. And as you can see here, exactly the same kind of trend as with the investment portfolio. I've actually made a few more changes to this portfolio this month, so I'll just talk you through those briefly. So the biggest one is that I actually got rid of some Dash earlier in the month, and then if we scroll to the bottom, I actually bought NEO. So I bought 100 NEO on the 5th of March. Now that's down about 50% from when I bought it. The Dash is down probably a similar amount as well. But and the only other thing at the bottom here, as you can see here, the Bitbean. So this is the staking rewards from the Bitbean I bought in my investment portfolio. And what I do whenever I buy anything that I'm staking or anything like that, I always put the staking returns in this portfolio, because this is my sort of mining and staking portfolio, even though I actually purchased it in the investment one. So you can see the first few stakes, the first 5 1,000 stakes have come in now. But apart from that, this portfolio is pretty much the same. So let's jump over and have a look at the figures. So as you can see from the figures here, just like I mentioned when we had a look at the portfolios, everything's down massively this month. So my investment portfolio, the acquisition cost £8,769, and the holdings at midnight today were £8,861. So it's a profit loss of £92. So it's basically exactly back where it was when I purchased them. And that's a mixture of the early purchases, doing quite well, and the recent ones doing very badly. Now, that's a change from last month of £7,812 loss. So it's lost pretty much all half of its value in the last 30 days. So not a great performance there. And then looking at the mining portfolio below, the holdings at midnight were $40,019, and that again is down $40,272 from last month. So that's lost 50% of its value as well. So a really, really poor month for kind of cryptos. We've seen what looks like a kind of bottom just to kind of trickle on for a few days, and then another pullback, and then what seems to be a bottom trickles along for a few days, then another pullback. So I have no idea whether we are at the bottom. Last month I kind of said, maybe you know, March was going to be the month when things started turning around. I think a lot of people were hopeful, but there's no sign of that as yet. And, you know, from looking at the sort of like the immediate kind of like look into kind of April, it doesn't look like there's any kind of immediate kind of pullback or any really kind of positive things. There's been lots of good news this month, but nothing that seems to have affected the markets. And I think until we see a lot of new money starting to enter the markets, you know, we're not really going to see any big kind of pullback. So my prediction for April, for what it's worth, and that's probably not a lot, is that it will kind of maybe trickle along. I like to think that maybe we're getting towards the kind of bottom now, that a lot of people who bought at those kind of highs in December and January have probably now sold. And a lot of the people that are kind of sat there with kind of cryptos, people like kind of myself that have been in there for kind of a while, are not willing to kind of sell. I'm not going to sell. I'm, you know, going to ride this out. You know, worst comes to the worst, you know, it goes down a lot more, you know, but I believe in kind of cryptocurrencies. I believe in the long-term kind of future of them. So I'm just going to ride this out and wait for a turnaround. But let's jump over and have a look at the mining and staking profits this month. So this is everything that I've mined or staked this month. I'll run you through them quickly. So the first one's all mined coins. So we have Burstcoin. This has been a really poor month. It's the worst month I've ever had. I hit one block this month, but as you can see, only 1,169 burst, which was about $16. Bitcoin, so I've mined a mixture of Bitcoin and Digibyte with my R4, and I also reached the minimum threshold on one of my Hashflare kind of cloud mining contracts, so that gave me about $300 odd dollars of Bitcoin as well. So altogether, I mined $442 of Bitcoin and $65 worth of Digibyte. I mined just over $8 worth of Dash. Zencash was $127. And then onto the staking coins now. So NavCoin, just under $24 worth of Nav. Syndicate continues to be by far the best staking performance. I actually staked 1,670 Syndicate this in March rather, and that was $503.22. And I've worked these prices as the price at midnight today. So at the beginning of the month, obviously, most of these coins were worth substantially more. So if I'd worked it on a day-to-day basis, which I will be doing, obviously, for my financial kind of returns, it would look a lot better than this. But today's prices, which is the lowest that the market's been this year, Syndicate $503, despite that kind of big downturn. Neutron, just over $8.50. Neutron's been really, really disappointing. Not so much the amount of stakes, which is, you know, lower than obviously stuff like kind of Syndicate, and lower until you get a kind of master node, but really just the price of the kind of coin. I think when I started in, maybe it was February with kind of Neutron, I think Neutron was about $65 and it's probably about 65 cents, and it's about 10 cents now. So it's really been decimated, far more so than many other coins. So, you know, certainly not one I would recommend investing in at the moment. And then with my NEO purchase, I bought 100 NEO earlier this month, and I generated $11.23 worth of gas. And then my BeanCash. So this was the BeanCash I bought £1,000 worth earlier this month, and that's generated 5 stakes each for 1,000, and that's $36.21. So if we topped all those things together, you can see there's probably roughly a 50-50 split between mining profits and staking profits. So the total mined and staked altogether this month was $1,241.91. So that's it for this month. As I said, you know, really kind of poor month crypto wise. The markets are down massively, but I'm continuing to mine. I'm continuing to kind of stake. And really the way I look at it now is, you know, I'm not looking at it in terms really of dollar values. I always put these together for other people to kind of have a look at, but I'm just looking at it as, you know, kind of acquiring coins. So I'm just mining coins, I'm kind of staking kind of coins, and I'm just trying to increase the number of coins I have so that when the market does eventually kind of move around, you know, I'll be in a better position than when the bear market started. But anyway, apologies if the sound or vision on this video hasn't been great. As I mentioned in my last video, I'm currently away. I'll be back tomorrow. But yeah, if the sound or video quality isn't as good as normal, I apologise for that. But I will be back in the UK in the next day or two. But anyway, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Consider subscribing if you like cryptocurrency related stuff. And hopefully I will see you on the next video. Have a great day. Bye bye.